Well, that was the Labour MP, Jack Dromey, saying that he's not welcome here. And, well, you're very welcome to our sofa, and it's good to see you this morning. We just heard in that debate that what he does is draws attention to himself.
Yes.
Well, what a fantastic opportunity to draw attention to him yesterday, to talk about and publicise this view. Meanwhile, he's taking absolutely no notice at all and is talking to his own potential constituents, you know, about his next sort of mission.
Our first duty is to the safety and security of our citizens in the United Kingdom. And we face a uniquely awful generational threat of terrorism. ISIS needs Donald Trump, and Donald Trump needs ISIS. ISIS needs to be able to say, on the one hand, Muslims, you're under attack. Donald Trump needs to be able to say, on the other hand, you're under attack by Muslims. And the dangers of what Donald Trump says is this. That terrorism takes two forms. The organised cells, the kind of outrageous attack that we saw in Paris, but there's then the radicalisation of the vulnerable, many of whom are mentally ill, many of whom have been arrested. One a day, the arrests now for terrorism in this country. And if what you do is you play to that sense of victimhood that ISIS encourages, there can be very dangerous consequences of that.
OK, so look, you're in the business of banning dangerous people who say dangerous things, right? So would you ban Vladimir Putin, who recently came to this country and was given the red carpet, the royal bugles, a state dinner at Buckingham Palace? Would you ban him?
I'm a great believer in freedom of speech.
Oh, hang on, you're not, are you?
No,
well, you're not.
no.
You're not.
Piers,
yesterday, I watched what I thought was an utter farce, frankly, of our British members of Parliament debating whether a man who they didn't like, saying he wanted to ban a certain demographic of people, albeit on a short-term basis for security reasons, he said, you wanted to ban him and then have a debate about banning someone for banning people. So the whole thing looked to me completely farcical. Here's my point.
Well, let me answer what you just said.
That wasn't my question. My question to you is this. We'll come to the other part in a minute.
Yeah.
Vladimir Putin is, by common consent, a dangerous individual who says extremely inflammatory things, yet we welcome him with open arms. Would you ban Vladimir Putin? Would you or not?
No, I wouldn't.
So you would let Putin in, but you wouldn't let Donald Trump in?
Piers, can I get a word in? Can I get a word in, or are you going to just talk to yourself?
No, Jack, you can, but I'm going to finish my little thread here, then you can answer. Would you ban King Salman of Saudi Arabia, who last week allowed 50 people to be beheaded? Would you ban him?
Piers,
would you ban him?
Preserving...
Jack, yes or no? Give me yes or no, you can answer.
Piers, preserving community cohesion in this country and defeating terrorism...
chopping people's heads off doesn't preserve cohesion,
and defeating terrorism, for me, is not a farce. It's a duty that falls upon us all.
Would you ban King Salman of Saudi Arabia?
A duty that falls upon us all in this country.
Answer my question.
Piers,
would you ban King Salman of Saudi Arabia?
Look, if you want to interview yourself, by all means, go ahead.
Answer my question.
Piers.
Answer my question.
I'm going to answer your question in my way, not in your way.
So you won't give me a straight yes or no?
As far as I'm concerned, if the issue is this, freedom of speech, absolutely. I used to be on the executive of the National Council for Civil Liberties for 10 years. I was its chairman. But if by what you say, you encourage or legitimise violence, then that crosses the line as to what is acceptable.
So Vladimir Putin, who has stigmatised homosexuals, for example, you've got no problem with that. He can come in and he can invade Ukraine.
His views on homosexuals stink. They stink.
But you wouldn't ban him, even though he victimises a whole demographic group.
They stink. But if you've got this threat of terrorism and you've got somebody who, by his actions, is likely to encourage violence, then he is not welcome in this country. He's not welcome.
Let me finish my little thread. King Salman of Saudi Arabia, like I said, last week presided over 50 people having their heads chopped off, right?
Grotesque.
Would you let him into the country or ban him?
No, I wouldn't ban him.
You wouldn't ban him? Third question.
Utterly grotesque.
My third name for you, the president of China, which has an appalling record of human rights, right? Would you allow him into the country?
The president of China has also got, you're absolutely right, an appalling record on human rights.
Would you let him in?
But we're talking about, Piers, terrorism in this country.
I'm talking about
and what is likely to cause...
wait a minute. It's very important because we had to watch our democratic process, in my view, being hijacked on stinking hypocrisy yesterday.
No.
There's you telling the world that the person we need to ban is Donald Trump. a real estate magnate who's doing quite well in the US presidential race, right? But you're prepared to let in Putin, King Salman of Saudi, and the President of China, even though by any yardstick, they are clearly more dangerous than Donald Trump.
Look, Piers, you can grandstand, but forgive me if I say this. I am not going to make the task of our police service and our security services trying to hold the line against this grotesquely awful threat of terrorism in our country. I'm not going to make that task any more difficult.
Okay.